Des Moines, I.D.M.N. is the capital and the most populous city in the U.S. state of Iowa. It is also the county seat of Polk County. A small portion of the city extends into Warren County. It was incorporated on September 22, 1851, as Fort Des Moines, which was shortened to Des Moines in 1857. It is located on and named after the Des Moines River, which likely was adapted from the French colonial name Rivière des Moines, meaning River of the Monks. The city's population was 203,433 as of the 2010 census. The five-county metropolitan area is ranked 91st in terms of population in the United States with 599,789 residents according to the 2013 estimate by the United States Census Bureau. Des Moines is a major center of the U.S. insurance industry and has a sizable financial services and publishing business base. The city was credited as the #1 spot for U.S. insurance companies in a Business Wire article and named the third largest insurance capital of the world. The city is the headquarters for the principal financial group Athene USA Insurance, the Meredith Corporation, Ruin Transportation, EMC Insurance Companies, and Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Other major corporations such as Wells Fargo, Voya Financial, Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, ACE Limited, Marsh, Monsanto and Pioneer Hybrid have large operations in or near the metro area. In recent years, Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard and Facebook have established data processing and logistical facilities in the Des Moines metro. Forbes magazine ranked Des Moines as the best place for business in both 2010 and 2013. In 2014, NBC ranked Des Moines as the wealthiest city in America, according to its criteria. Des Moines is an important city in U.S. presidential politics. As the capital of the state, it is the site of the first caucuses of the presidential primary cycle. Many presidential candidates set up campaign headquarters in Des Moines. A 2007 article in the New York Times said, "If you have any desire to witness presidential candidates in the most close-up and intimate of settings, there is arguably no better place to go than Des Moines." Etymology: Des Moines takes its name from Fort Des Moines, which was named for the Des Moines River. This was adopted from the name given by French colonists. Des Moines, a formerly French pronunciation, translates literally to either "from the monks" or "of the monks." The historian Virgil Vogel claimed that the name was derived from Moingona, the Algonquin clan name for loon, one of the clans of the local Native American people. Some historians and researchers lacking linguistic or Algonquinist training concluded that Moingona meant people by the portage or something similar, a reference to the Des Moines Rapids. This was the site of the earliest known encounters between the Moingona and European explorers took place. One popular interpretation of Des Moines ignores Vogel's research, and concludes that Des Moines refers to a group of French Trappist monks, who in the 17th century lived in huts built on top of what is now known as the ancient Nunks-Mandan Cahokia, the major center of Mississippian culture, which developed in what is present-day Illinois, east of the Mississippi River and the current city of St. Louis. This was some 200 miles from the Des Moines River. Prehistory. Prehistoric inhabitants of early Des Moines based on archaeological evidence. The juncture of the Des Moines and Raccoon Rivers has attracted humans for at least 7,000 years. Several prehistoric occupation areas have been identified by archaeologists in downtown Des Moines. Discovered in December 2010, the Palace is an expansive 7,000-year-old site found during excavations prior to construction of the new wastewater treatment plant in southeastern Des Moines. It contains well-preserved house deposits and numerous graves. More than 6,000 artifacts were found at this site. State of Iowa archaeologist John dᵻ was assisted by University of Iowa archaeologists at this dig. At least 3 late prehistoric villages, dating from about AD 1300 to 1700, stood in or near what developed later as downtown Des Moines. In addition, 15 to 18 prehistoric American Indian mounds were observed in this area by early settlers. All have been destroyed during development of the city. History. Origin of Fort Des Moines. The city of Des Moines traces its origins to May 1843, when Captain James Allen supervised the construction of a fort on the site where the Des Moines and Raccoon rivers merge. Allen wanted to use the name Fort Raccoon. However, the U.S. War Department preferred the name Fort Des Moines. The fort was built to control the Sauk and Meskwaki Indians, who had been transplanted to the area by the government from the traditional lands in eastern Iowa. The fort was abandoned in 1846 after the Sauk and Meskwaki were removed from the state and shifted to Indian Territory. The Sauk and Meskwaki did not fare well in Des Moines. The illegal whiskey trade, combined with the destruction of traditional lifeways, led to severe problems for the society. One newspaper reported, "It is a fact that the location of Fort Des Moines among the Sac and Fox Indians for the last 2 years had corrupted them more and lowered them deeper in the scale of vice and degradation than all their intercourse with the whites for the 10 years previous." After official removal, the Meskwaki continued to return to Des Moines until around 1857. Archaeological excavations have demonstrated that many fort-related features survived under what is now Martin Luther King, Jr. Parkway and 1st Street. Soldiers stationed at Fort Des Moines opened the first coal mines in the area, mining coal from the riverbank for the fort's blacksmith. Early, non-Native American settlement settlers occupied the abandoned fort and nearby areas. On May 25, 1846, Fort Des Moines was designated by the state legislature as the seat of Polk County. Rosina Perkins, a schoolteacher who spent the winter of 1850 to 1851 in the town of Fort Des Moines, was not favorably impressed. "This is one of the strangest-looking cities I ever saw. This town is at the juncture of the Des Moines and Raccoon rivers. It is mostly a level prairie with a few swells or hills around it. We have a courthouse of brick, and one church, a plain, framed building belonging to the Methodists. There are 2 taverns here, one of which has a most important little bell that rings together some 50 boarders. I cannot tell you how many dwellings there are, for I have not counted them. Some are of logs, some of brick, some framed, and some are the remains of the old dragoon houses. The people support 2 papers and there are several dry goods shops. I have been into but 4 of them. Society is as varied as the buildings are. There are people from nearly every state, and Dutch, Swedes, etc. In May 1851, much of the town was destroyed during the flood of 1851. The Des Moines and Raccoon rivers rose to an unprecedented height, inundating the entire country east of the Des Moines River. Crops were utterly destroyed, houses and fences swept away. The city started to rebuild from scratch. Era of growth. On September 22, 1851, Des Moines was incorporated as a city. The charter was approved by voters on October 18. In 1857, the name Fort Des Moines was shortened to Des Moines, and it was designated as the second state capital, previously at Iowa City. Growth was slow during the Civil War period, but the city exploded in size and importance after a railroad link was completed in 1866. In 1864, the Des Moines Coal Company was organized to begin the first systematic mining in the region. Its first mine, north of town on the west side of the river, was exhausted by 1873. The Black Diamond Mine, near the south end of the West 7th Street Bridge, sank a 150-foot mine shaft to reach a 5-foot thick coal bed. By 1876, this mine employed 150 men and shipped 20 carloads of coal per day. By 1885, there were numerous mine shafts constructed within the city limits, and mining began to spread into the surrounding countryside. By 1893, there were 23 mines in the region. By 1908, the coal resources of Des Moines were largely exhausted. In 1912, Des Moines still had 8 locals of the United Mine Workers Union, representing a total of 1,410 miners. This represented about 1.7% of the city's population in 1910. By 1880, Des Moines had a population of 22,408, making it Iowa's largest city. It displaced the 3 Mississippi River ports, Burlington, Dubuque, and Davenport, that had alternated holding the position since the territorial period. Des Moines has remained Iowa's most populous city ever since. In 1910, the Census Bureau reported Des Moines' population as 97.3% white and 2.7% black, reflecting its early settlement pattern primarily by ethnic Europeans. City Beautiful Project, Decline and Rebirth. At the turn of the 20th century, Des Moines undertook a City Beautiful project in which large Beaux-Arts public buildings and fountains were constructed along the Des Moines River. The former Des Moines Public Library building, the United States Central Post Office, built by the federal government, and the City Hall are surviving examples of the 1900 to 1910 buildings. They formed the Civic Center Historic District. The ornate riverfront balustrades that still line the Des Moines and Raccoon River were built by the Federal Civilian Conservation Corps in the mid-1930s. During the Great Depression under Democratic President Franklin D. Roosevelt, as a project to provide local employment and improve infrastructure, the ornamental fountains that once stood along the riverbank were buried in the 1950s, when the city began a post-industrial decline which lasted until the late 1980s. The city has since rebounded, transforming from a blue-collar industrial city to a white-collar professional city. In 1907, the city adopted a city commission government known as the Des Moines Plan, comprising an elected mayor and 4 commissioners, all elected at large, who were responsible for public works, public property, public safety, and finance. Considered progressive at the time, it resulted in diluting the votes of ethnic and national minorities, who generally could not command the majority to elect a candidate of their choice. This form of government was scrapped in 1950 in favor of a council-manager government, with the council members elected at large. In 1967, the city changed its government to elect 4 of the 7 city council members from single-member districts awards, rather than at large. This enabled broader representation of voters. As with many major urban areas, the city core began losing population to the suburbs in the 1960s, as highway construction led to new residential construction outside the city. The population was 198,682 in 2000 and grew slightly to 200,538 in 2009. The growth of the outlying suburbs has continued, and the overall metro area population is over 600,000 today. During the Great Flood of 1993, heavy rains throughout June and early July caused the Des Moines and Raccoon rivers to rise above flood stage levels. The Des Moines Waterworks was submerged by flood waters during the early morning hours of July 11, 1993, leaving an estimated 250,000 people without running water for 12 days and without drinking water for 20 days. Des Moines suffered major flooding again in June 2008 with a major levee breach. The Des Moines River is controlled upstream by Saylorville Reservoir. In both 1993 and 2008, the flooding river overtopped the reservoir spillway. Today, Des Moines is a member of ICLEI Local Governments for Sustainability USA. Through ICLEI, Des Moines has implemented the Tomorrow Plan, a regional plan focused on developing central Iowa in a sustainable fashion, centrally planning growth and resource consumption to manage the local population. Cityscape. The skyline of Des Moines changed during the 1970s and 1980s as several new skyscrapers were built. Additional skyscrapers were built in the 1990s, including Iowa's tallest, before then, a 19-story Equitable building, from 1924, was the tallest building in the city and the tallest building in Iowa. The 25-story Financial Center was completed in 1973, and the 36-story Ruin Center was completed in 1974. They were later joined by the 33-story Des Moines Marriott Hotel, the 25-story Hub Tower and 25-story Plaza Building. Iowa's tallest building, Principal Financial Group's 45-story tower at 801 Grand, was built in 1991, and the 19-story EMC Insurance Building in 1997. During this time period, the Civic Center of Greater Des Moines was developed. It hosts Broadway shows and special events. Also constructed were the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden, a large city botanical garden, greenhouse on the east side of the river, the Polk County Convention Complex, and the State of Iowa Historical Museum. The Des Moines Skywalk also began to take shape during the 1980s. The Skywalk system is 4 miles long and connects many downtown buildings. In the early 21st century, the city has had more major construction in the downtown area. The new Science Center of Iowa and IMAX Dome Theater and the Iowa Events Center opened in 2005. The new central branch of the Des Moines Public Library, designed by renowned architect David Chipperfield of London, opened on April 8, 2006. The World Food Prize Foundation, which is based in Des Moines, completed adaptation and restoration of the former Des Moines Public Library building in October 2011. The former library now serves as the home and headquarters of the Dr. Norman Borlaug World Food Prize Hall of Laureates. In 2002, the Principal Financial Group and the city announced plans for the Principal Riverwalk, which will feature trails, pedestrian bridges across the river, a fountain and skating plaza, and a civic garden in front of the City Hall. Multiple existing downtown buildings are being converted from office to loft apartments and condominiums. This trend is highlighted by the success of the East Village district of shops, studios, and housing between the Capital District and the Des Moines River. Geography. Des Moines is located at, according to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 90.65 square miles, of which 88.93 square miles is land and 1.73 square miles is water. It is 850 feet above sea level at the confluence of the Raccoon and Des Moines rivers. In November 2005, Des Moines voters approved a measure that allowed the city to annex certain parcels of land in the northeast, southeast, and southern corners of Des Moines without agreement by local residents, particularly areas bordering the Iowa Highway 5. 65 bypass. The annexations became official on June 26, 2009, as 5,174 acres and approximately 868 new residents were added to the city of Des Moines. An additional 759 acres were voluntarily annexed to the city over that same period of time. Metropolitan area. The Des Moines-West Des Moines Metropolitan Statistical Area consists of 5 central Iowa counties: Polk, Dallas, Warren, Madison, and Guthrie. The area had a 2000 census population of 481,394 and an estimated 2009 population of 562,906. The Des Moines-Newton-Pella Combined Statistical Area consists of those 5 counties plus Jasper and Marion counties. The 2000 census population of this area was 550,659, and the estimated 2009 population was 631,805. Des Moines suburban communities include Altoona, Ankeny, Bondurant, Carlisle, Clive, Grimes, Johnston, Norwalk, Pleasant Hill, Urbandale, Waukee, West Des Moines, and Windsor Heights. Climate. Located at the center of North America and far removed from large bodies of water, the Des Moines area has a hot summer-type humid continental climate, with hot humid summers and cold, snowy winters. Summer temperatures can often climb into the 90 degrees Fahrenheit range, occasionally reaching 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity can be high in spring and summer, with frequent afternoon thunderstorms. Fall brings pleasant temperatures and colorful fall foliage. Winters vary from moderately cold to bitterly cold, with low temperatures venturing below 0 degrees Fahrenheit quite often. Snowfall averages 35.3 inches per season, and annual precipitation averages 36.0 inches, with a peak in the warmer months. Winters are slightly colder than Chicago but still warmer than Minneapolis, with summer temperatures being very similar between the upper Midwest metropolitan areas. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 203,433 people, 81,369 households, and 47,491 families residing in the city. Population density was 2,515.6 inhabitants per square mile. There were 88,729 housing units at an average density of 1,097.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 76.4% white, 10.2% African American, 0.5% Native American, 4.4% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 5.0% from other races, and 3.4% from 2 or more races. People of Hispanic or Latino origin, of any race, formed 12.0% of the population. Non-Hispanic whites were 70.5% of the population in 2010. There were 81,369 households, of which 31.6% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 38.9% were married couples living together. 14.2% had a female householder with no husband present. 5.3% had a male householder with no wife present, and 41.6% were non-families. 32.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 9.4% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.43 and the average family size was 3.11. The median age in the city was 33.5 years. 24.8% of residents were under the age of 18, 10.9% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 29.4% were from 25 to 44, 23.9% were from 45 to 64, and 11% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 48.9% male and 51.1% female. 2000 census. As of the 2000 census, there were 198,682 people, 80,504 households, and 48,704 families in the city. The population density was 2,621.3 people per square mile. There were 85,067 housing units at an average density of 1,122.3 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 82.3% white, 8.07% black, 0.35% American Indian, 3.50% Asian, 0.05% Pacific Islander, 3.52% from other races, and 2.23% from two or more races. 6.61% of the population were Hispanic or Latino of any race, 20.9% were of German, 10.3% Irish, 9.1% American, and 8.0% English ancestry, according to Census 2000. There were 80,504 households, out of which 29.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 43.7% were married couples living together, 12.6% had a female householder with no husband present, and 39.5% were non-families. 31.9% of all households were made up of individuals, and 10.2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39 and the average family size was 3.04. Age spread: 24.8% under the age of 18, 10.6% from 18 to 24, 31.8% from 25 to 44, 20.4% from 45 to 64, and 12.4% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 34 years. For every 100 females, there were 93.8 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 90.5 males. The median income for a household in the city was $38,408, and the median income for a family was $46,590. Males had a median income of $31,712 versus $25,832 for females. The per capita income for the city was $19,467. About 7.9% of families and 11.4% of the population were below the poverty line, including 14.9% of those under age 18 and 7.6% of those ages 65 or over. Economy. Many insurance companies are headquartered in Des Moines, including the Principal Financial Group, EMC Insurance Group, Fidelity, and AMP, Guarantee Life, Allied Insurance, Wellmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Iowa, and American Republic Insurance Company. Des Moines has been referred to as the Hartford of the West because of this. The Principal is one of two Fortune 500 companies with headquarters in Iowa, ranking 273rd on the magazine's list in 2009, as a center of financial and insurance services. Other major corporations headquartered outside outside of Iowa have established a presence in the Des Moines metro area, including Wells Fargo, Voya Financial, and Electronic Data Systems. The Meredith Corporation, a leading publishing and marketing company, is also based in Des Moines. Meredith publishes Better Homes and Gardens, one of the most widely circulated publications in the United States. Des Moines is also the headquarters of Golf Digest magazine. Other major employers in Des Moines include Unity Point Health, Mercy Medical Center, Mid-American Energy Company, CD's Global, UPS, Firestone Agricultural Tire Company, EDS, Drake University, Titan Tire, the Des Moines Register, Anderson Erickson, DC&M Co. In 2010, Forbes magazine ranked the Des Moines metropolitan area first on its list of best places for business and careers, based on factors such as the cost of doing business, cost of living, educational attainment, and crime rate.